Hello and welcome, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to the end of the first week of June and the last Friday before the beginning of the Analysis Academy series. Next Monday is going to be the beginning of the series, and to make sure that everyone understands what this class series is about, but more importantly has the information that is needed to be able to make the most of these classes, we wanted to do this last final video for you all. This video is going to talk about what the Analysis Academy is, but also what information do you need to know. I'm going to assume if you're watching this, we're going to start off by saying you know nothing. And in literally less than 10 minutes, you will know everything you need to know in order to take these classes and be able to use the strategies that you learn in these classes to invest. It is really that simple. So today, I want to show you that. So we're going to go through some basic information, we're going to go through what you need to know before you take these classes, and then we'll wrap things up. Sound good? Let's get straight into it, shall we? Disclaimer, because today I will talk a little bit about strategies. Past results never guarantee future performance. When we look at backtesting results, when we look at any sort of strategy, it is based on how something has done in the past, with no promise it will do that in the future. That is the reason why we give you the tools you need to do these tests. We don't say, here's the test, trust us. That's not enough. We need to be able to do this in the future as well, because things change, always. Cool? Cool. The Analysis Academy. This is not the first class series that we've done here at Sectors Made Simple. This is actually the third. The first one we did was a spreadsheets course that we taught you how to create and use a stock screener within Google Sheets. The second one was an introduction for students and young adults into the world of finance, teaching you what you need to know about credit, about savings, and about how you can try and budget for future purchases. This course is going back to our roots of being an analysis and stock series. So this series will be a deep dive into the world of both fundamental and technical analysis. So today we'll give you a final run through of what these classes will discuss. We'll also talk about what information you will need to know in order to take these classes and get the most information out of them. Let's start off with the basics. This class series is going to be a 6-week, 12-hour long series. Each week we will have 2 episodes. The series will start on June 5th, Monday, June 5th. These classes will be live every Monday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Texas time. These classes will be done live over Zoom, so you can ask all your questions and have any sort of concerns answered. It will be a very tailor-made session. These are not big classes. We don't have hundreds of attendees. We're keeping it small so that we can keep it personal. You can ask questions to me. There's no support email that you need to go through. Yes, you can still email us things, but we are keeping this class small so that you can have direct one-on-one help. We want it to be personal. We want it to be comfy. So every live class will be on Monday and Wednesday over Zoom. For our Sectors Made Simple subscribers, we will have an additional, they won't be part of the series, but we will have workshops every Thursday with my mom, Julie Stoff. These workshops are going to be a time to practice the strategies, ask questions, and the big goal of these is to offer this in Spanish. These classes will be done in English with Spanish subtitles. Because of that, we don't want it to only be the English speakers that are getting the stuff they want. Everything will be done with the Spanish community in mind. All of our videos will have Spanish subtitles. You can ask questions in Spanish during the videos and the sessions, but for SMS subscribers, we will also have these special workshops every week to help reinforce what we're talking about. Also, these classes will cover analysis. Go figure, Analysis Academy, we're going to cover stock analysis. We're going to cover both fundamental and technical analysis. Why? Because fundamental analysis is really, really good if you're buying and holding something over longer periods of time. If you're just starting off investing, fundamental analysis is a little less scary to get into and is really great for finding long-term purchases. You buy it and you hold it for a few weeks. Then, for the technical analysis, these strategies can be anything from trading one day, trading daily, or once every few days, to, if you're really crazy, every few minutes. No, I'm not kidding you, minutes. In the Spanish video that we did yesterday on the same topic, my mom showed some trades that she's been doing using strategies that we will cover in this series. Some of those trades took place over 7 minutes. You buy, 7 minutes later, you sell. Now, if that's a lot for you, don't worry. I wanted to show both extremes. One that is the very, very short term, one that is the very, very long term. Because there are people all across that entire spectrum. There will be people that want the day trading strategies. They want to learn how to trade actively with 3-minute bars and really get dirty with trading high risk, high reward opportunities. Others don't. They want to learn what makes a good stock a good stock. They want to learn what analysis is and how it can help them find things to purchase for a longer term period of time. What are the factors we're looking for if we're buying something to hold it in our retirement accounts? All of these considerations we are putting into this class series. So whether you're looking for your retirement account strategy or your active cash account trading strategy, we have something for you. Speaking of, who is this series for? Literally anybody. Anybody that wants to learn how to invest for themselves and is willing to learn something new will find this class series extremely valuable. These classes will focus on strategies that apply to day traders, as well as swing traders and those 401k traders. All topics will be covered in full detail. What I mean by that is that you do not need to know very much to start off with these videos. In fact, that's why we're here today. The reason that I'm doing this video here today is to teach you everything you need to know before taking these classes. Sounds crazy? I promise you, it is really that simple. So really, if you want to learn how to make your money work for you, this is the class for you. I really quickly want to mention a few of the topics that we will cover in this series so you get a taster of what we will be discussing. So starting off, we're going to give you an introduction to the platform that will be used for this series, TradingView. Much of what we will cover in this series will take place in TradingView, and we'll be using TradingView's resources to create and test these strategies and share these strategies with you. So the first class will be a very detailed look at what TradingView is. We'll step through and make accounts together. We'll get you set up with the scripts. Everything will take place on that first class. We will talk about fundamental analysis, what it is, why it's important, and why it sometimes is better than technical analysis. Speaking of technical analysis, We will then move into other strategies. This is where the real strategy stuff comes in. We'll get into strategies that use moving averages, more complex indicators such as the Relative Strength Index, RSI, and the Shaft Trend Cycle, STC. Then we will get into other strategies that use technical analysis. In total, there will be 4 to 5 of them. And then finally, we will go beyond analysis. Talk about other things that, while not directly involved in analysis, is involved in creating trading strategies, such as what trailing stops are, how do we figure out when to sell, how do we figure out, because the strategy is going to be when to buy, that's easy. When do we sell, how do we automate it, how do I change it if I'm trading short term, long term, and every term in between. All of this will be covered. And of course, because many of you ask about them, this class will be not entirely focused on options, but for many of the day trading strategies we talk about, they're meant to be used with options. We will show how these strategies can be turned from a stock strategy to an option strategy, and how you can go within options and change what option you're investing in to maximize or optimize, really. Find the correct risk and return for you. Speaking of technical analysis, the way that we will share technical analysis strategies with you, and the unique thing about our classes, is that we will offer scripts for TradingView. These scripts are mini programs that allow you to take the strategy that we share and turn it into your perfect strategy. Change the level of risk, change the level of reward, change a few of the values in the strategy. We will show you how and when you can do that to make sure that you understand these strategies. One of the biggest problems that we have found with trading strategies online is that they aren't live. They don't give you the tools to do the strategy for yourself. They just say, trust us. Or you have to pay a lot extra to get that script. I'm not kidding you. There was one strategy I was interested in. I went to go look, and this guy sells these strategies for $200 per strategy. In this series, you will get 5 of these strategies. You will also learn how to turn these strategies into backtests so you can see how well the strategies would have done. And we'll teach you how to customize the strategies to make them perfect for day trading, swing trading, after hours trading if you only can trade after hours, and more. These strategies will evolve. They will change as you need them to. So it is not going to be difficult to find strategies that make sense to you and are made for you. So you can change things like the individual values of the strategy. You can change your profit and loss, so your risk and your reward. And most importantly, you can change what time frame. So are you trading short term, mid term, long term? And you can change what stock you are trading. It sounds like a lot. It is really quite simple. If you're interested to see us do this for yourself and you want to see what these backtests look like, unfortunately, that's not the point of today. Today is meant to be very simple. But if what I'm talking about sounds interesting to you and you want to learn more, over on our website, sectorsmadesimple.com/analysis academy, you can watch the video on that page, which is a 15-minute video in which we do go into detail about one of the scripts that we will be covering in the series and show you what it will be like to use one of these strategies for real. Now, What will these classes include? The classes will include 12 one-hour-long lessons that will be hosted live on Zoom. The classes will be with me and many other people who have dedicated themselves to education and investing. So you will be in very, very good hands. We will also include the backtesting scripts for TradingView. These scripts will stay with you. So even after the class series ends, you will have access to both the class recordings, to view the classes over again, and access to the scripts, so that even after the class series ends, you can continue using what you've learned in these classes, changing them as your needs as an investor change as well. So, if that sounds cool, but you're not sure if you know if you have the knowledge needed to take these classes, here's what you're going to need. You need to know how to read a time series price chart. The type of chart we'll be using in this series will be Candlestick. So that's what I will give you an introduction of today. A basic understanding of what stocks and ETFs are, and a free TradingView account. This one you don't need to start with. The very first lesson will be the introduction to TradingView, and we will help you set up your account then. Those are the only things that you need to take these classes. But there are a few things we also recommend. We recommend that you have a paper trading account or a brokerage account, preferably paper trading. You are going to be trying new strategies. You're going to be figuring out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. It's very fun to try new things. It's not very fun to try new things and lose our money. So, we highly recommend that you create a paper trading account to be able to take what we're learning about in these classes and put it to use. We will talk about in the series some different main options that we have for paper trading, and we will do trades within paper trading, and I'm assuming my mom will end up probably doing some real trading as well because she gets bored with paper trading. But we will show you how you can start using what you're learning about risk-free and really maximize what you're learning about. Because the strategies will be great, but anyone can teach you strategies. Making sure that you understand what the strategies are and how to use them is the important part. So we want you to use the strategies. We want you to find out what works and what doesn't. We want you to ask questions so we can answer them. So, main thing that we recommend, have a paper trading account so that you can practice what you're learning about. Another recommendation is that you know what options are. Options are an amazing opportunity for very savvy investors. They allow us to trade very short term, but they have their own risks. If you know what options are, fantastic. We will talk about how our strategies can be turned into options-based strategies, but options are not required. Knowing what options are before the class is not required. We will go through a basic introduction of options during the series, but for now, we're just going to stick to stocks, ETFs, and time series charts. Those are the only 3 things you need to know before taking this class. So let's do a basic introduction. This is going to sound silly, but again, I'm covering everything. If you know nothing about investing, by the end of this, you'll know enough to take the classes. It is really that simple. So let's start off with stocks. The world of investing is huge. People invest in gold, they invest in trading cards, they invest in cars. The world of investing is more than just stocks. It's the idea of buying something that has value with the hope that that value goes up over time. That sentence right there is the reason that I have issues with some types of investments, because they don't have value beyond what other people are willing to pay for them. Whereas other things have value that is based on either the money they already have, the backing that that investment has. There are many different investments that have real value behind it, not just what someone else is willing to pay for them. Because of that, stocks are probably one of the most common types of investments. Unlike something like a baseball card, that the only value it has is what Joe down the street is willing to pay for it, a stock is a company. You are buying a piece of a company. So because that company has value, there is value behind that investment, even before we start to think about what is someone else willing to pay for it. Going beyond that, though, investing in stocks involves buying a piece of a company so that we get that piece of a company and we can buy it and sell it to other investors. As the company grows, the value of that stock grows. As the value of that stock grows, more people want to buy the stock, which drives the price up. Simple idea. But in this is where analysis comes in. We can use analysis to find what companies we want to buy, when to buy them, and the reasons that we're buying them. All of this so that we can improve our chances of turning a profit. I will tell you right now, no strategy is perfect. The market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. There is always risk. So, what we are trying to do as investors is not win every single trade we make. We are trying to improve our odds of having more wins than losses and bigger wins than losses. That's all it is. And we can use some basic math and some little bit of checking what's happened in the past and testing on what's happened in the past to find what works. The beauty of this is that we can find profit in a matter of minutes, hours, days, or years, depending on what your goals for investing are. Stocks allow us to make a profit through many different ways. So that's all we really need to know about stocks. That we are buying them with the hope that they go up over time, and that we can use analysis to find what stocks we want to buy and when we want to buy them. Let's now talk about ETFs. Buying a single company is good, but we also have other choices, one of which is ETFs. ETFs, or exchange-traded funds, are a group of different securities that is managed by an organization. We don't even need to care about them. Someone handles making a bunch of gift baskets for us so that we can buy that gift basket. That's all we need to think about. The cool thing about this is that these ETFs will allow us to do things beyond just what a single company would offer. We can buy entire market sectors, like the technology sector, or entire indexes, like the S&P 500. Imagine if you could buy a gift basket that is the top 10 candy bars in the United States, the top 10 candy bars in Mexico. Those would be some pretty cool gift baskets. I'd love one for Mexico. Lots of tahini. But what we end up getting with that is we buy one thing and we get an entire diverse basket of things. Do you need to know what the S&P 500 is? It helps, but no. Do you need to know what the NASDAQ is? It helps, but no. There's a member of the SMS community that we were doing a webinar one day, and I was talking with her and I was saying, oh, here's where you can go to research the reasons that a stock went up and down. Her response, that's great. The thing that I care about is not why the price is going up and down, it's that the price is going up and down. I follow the price because I'm investing in the price. And that stuck with me because that is really powerful. We can become experts at what the S&P 500 is, about all of the individual companies, about the math of how they calculate the price. But ultimately, if we're focused on analysis, or technical analysis, we are focused on price and nothing else. So I can tell you what an ETF is, I can explain to you that it is a gift basket, and beyond that, you don't really need to know much else. It is a world of research that we can go into, and we have lots of resources on the Sectors Made Simple YouTube channel for that. But for this class series, when we're talking about technical analysis, we talk about price. That's it. So, all we need to know is that an ETF allows us to have an option that is not just companies. And many ETFs are extremely popular, meaning there's lots of people buying and selling them. And if we're looking at other things such as options, they have some additional bonuses, such as daily expirations on options, allowing us to trade very short-term investments based on these different ETFs. If what I said right now was a lot, don't worry. The whole idea is that we are going to be looking at either stocks or ETFs when we are looking at trading. We can use the exact same strategies for technical analysis, studying price, that we use for stocks, and we can use the same ideas for ETFs, for crypto, for Forex, anything that is price over time. What we will cover for technical analysis will apply. Finally, let's get into time series charting. For some of you, especially if you are a follower of Sectors Made Simple, this might be the area that you might be a little less familiar. We love using a type of chart known as point and figure. It is a trend-based chart. It follows uptrends and downtrends in the market. But unfortunately for technical analysis, we need to use another type of chart. Following an investment's changes in price over time is necessary. Understanding how the price is moving. Is it going up or down? How fast? And over what period of time? All of this is super important for us to know. So, to track these changes in price over time, there are many different ways that we can do this. Most stock charts are what are known as time series, meaning they check the price at certain intervals. Think about a clock. A clock is time series. It measures time in seconds. Tick, 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 tick. That is its time. Each moment is 1 second. Some clocks can do faster. Some clocks won't even show the seconds. But usually, the way that it works is a clock thinks about seconds. We can do the exact same thing with a stock chart. We can use time just like the ticking of a clock, where every time it ticks, we check the price. Tick, check the price. And we can change that though. We don't need to just use seconds like we would on a clock. We can use minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. We can use longer periods of time. 1 hour, 1 day even. There are, again, many different types of time series charts, but I want to quickly cover 2. The first is line charts. Line charts is like a game of connect the dots. At the end of every single time the clock ticks, check the price and write it down. You can just put a dot where the price is. Then, once we have more than one dot, you draw a line between the 2 dots. This is the simplest type of chart that we can have. And it is very, very, very simple. Let me show you an example of a line chart. So right here, what we have is TradingView, and we have a line chart. What that means is every single time the clock ticks, for us right now, each tick of the clock is 1 hour. We check the price. So here, the price was $181.05. We can see up here in blue. Actually, I'm covering where the price is. There we go. Sorry. It is the blue number to the right here. So it's, in this case, it's 175.38. Let me see if I can make that bigger. There we go. 179.87, 179.78, 180. So every time we get a new price, we draw a line from the old price to the new one. And that price changes over time. It's a very simple idea that over time gives us a really clean picture of how a stock's price has moved. You can see very clear days that it did very, very well. Very clear days where it did very, very not well. Line charts are a perfect introduction to time series, and through our analysis, many of the different pieces of information that we create will be line charts. That's all it is. Take some number that changes over time and look at it. Now, line charts are great, but unfortunately, it's not enough for us. For this series, we do need to know a different type of chart. Candlestick. Candlestick is not the only type, but if you're just starting off with time series charts and you want to use the one we're going to use for the class series, Candlestick is going to be your friends. What days are going to be the webinar and how many days? It will be 6 weeks starting next week, every Monday and Wednesday for 6 weeks. So it'll be June 5th, June 7th, 12th, 14th, 19th, 21st, 26th, 28th. We'll figure out what we want to do with, we'll probably have a class vote with what we want to do for July 4th, and so on. And it will be at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Candlestick might be the new topic for you all. These we can think about just like our line charts, with one difference. Instead of one dot to tell us the price, we have 4 different pieces of information. We get what is known as OHLC. It's an acronym for open, which is the start of that time. So think about it like this. we were looking at a chart that is 1 hour long bars. We check the price every hour. With OHLC, it's not check the price at the end of every hour. We can think about it, this webinar started at 4 p.m. It's now 4:36. If my time was between 4 and 5, I would keep my eyes on the price, seeing it go up, seeing it go down. So the open is the price that it was at the beginning of that period. So if our period was from 4 to 5 p.m., I would say, what is the price exactly at 4 p.m.? Then over the next hour, we watch it go up and down and up and down again, down a little bit more, and then back up. At the end of that hour, at 5, so 1 hour later, we see what's the price that it ended at. And that is our close. Then we have the high price, which is what's the highest that it got to during that period. And we have the low, which is the lowest it got to. So 4 things. If we start over here, it's where did it start? How high did it get? How low did it get? And where did it end? This is very commonly known as OHLC. Open high, low and close. Reading this information is very, very simple. It is a candle. This is quite literally what it will look like. Each candle has 2 main parts. The candle, which is the big, thick part. Within this candle, one end of it is the high, one end of it is the close. One end of the candle is the open, not high. The other end is the close. So what that means is that this top big thick part will either be the open or the close. The bottom will be the other one. How do we know which one is which though? Well, they usually color code it. If the candle is red, the close is lower than the open. Think about it like this. Red is usually negative values. They're negative numbers or bad things. So if the candle is red, means that the price went down. Meaning that we started high because our open was up here. It went down, 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 went up, then down, and then closed at the bottom line. If the candle is either black or green, then the close is higher than the open. Think about it, green is the color of money. Black is just black. So if we see it as black or green, that means the open is the bottom line. It had some ups and some downs, but it closed above where it opened. So the first part of a candlestick is the candle. The second part is the stick, or what's known as the wick. That's the super thin line that we have. Really quickly, let's show you what we can see within this chart here. So because this candle here is black, we know it went up. So what we will have is the open is the bottom line. The close is the upper line. For red, which is the negative, the open is the high level. The close is the bottom level. Now, for the wick. The wick above the candle shows us the high. And the wick below the candle shows us the low. So every candle tells us 4 things. We get where it opened, how it went up and down, and then up, and then closed. So we get our open, high, low, and close. For either red, so either positive or negative candles, the stick, the wick, is always going to be the high and the low. The color of it is going to be if it was positive, which means that the open was below the close, or red or negative if the open was above the close. How much does the course cost? So bear with me one moment. I'll actually just jump to that slide. So what I showed you right there is everything we need to know. What a stock is, what an ETF is, and how to read a time series chart. As I mentioned earlier, we are not trying to just pile in as many people into this class as is possible. We want to make sure that this is a class series that you can get personal attention in. That is why we are doing this. So spaces are limited. Registration for the classes is $500, so $499. There we go. This will include access to all of the live classes, to the recordings, and to all of the TradingView scripts. So you will get all of the programs to be able to create and test these strategies. You will keep access to these strategies after the series ends, and you will have links to view the recordings even after the class series ends. If you are a Sectors Made Simple annual subscriber, you can get a 50% discount on registering for these classes by sending us an email or checking your email. We've sent you the link to register with the 50% discount applied. So if you have a subscription right now for SMS, you can send us an email and get a 50% discount. If you are not currently a subscriber of Sectors Made Simple, you can still purchase a subscription and get access to that 50% discount. Sectors Made Simple is an amazing resource. We go beyond analysis to look at the ways that different companies and sectors interact with each other. We use that to create trading strategies that are easier to follow and allow you to trade only a few times a week, but still historically do very, very well. We offer over 300 hours of educational resources on our website, our entire dashboard of tools, and all of that is included in that $750 annual fee for Sectors Made Simple. So the two options, if you are not currently a subscriber, you can either purchase these classes standalone for $499, or you can get a 50% discount by purchasing an annual subscription to Sectors Made Simple as well. So, now you're ready. I really quickly, before we end, want to go and show you an example of a candlestick chart. So you can see for yourself, it's not that scary. What do we have here? We have a bunch of candles. Let's take this big green one right here. What we see is that we have a big, thick green body, meaning that the bottom is the open, the top is the close. The bottom of the candle sitting somewhere around 173. It's 173.07. So we see that little stick goes down to 173.07. We look at the top goes to 175.40. It is super, super small, but there is a little tiny candle up there. There's a tiny little wick. And then, of course, the big body. We have our open at 173.32, our close at 175.35. That time period for this bar started at 6:30 p.m. or sorry, 6:30 a.m. on Friday, the 26th of May, 2023, and ended at 7:30 a.m. same day. Just to show you, we can change this to be daily. So now this one bar is all of April 13th in the market. We still have our tiny little wicks above and below. We still have our candle. Here's an example of a red one. So here we know that it opened at the top of its bar. We can see at the top up here that it opened at 161.22 and it closed at 160.10. So this top bar is where it opened. The bottom is where it closed. The bottom of the wick is the lowest that it got. The top of the wick is the highest. You know this, and you're ready. We really try to make these classes be as inclusive as possible and require as little knowledge as possible. This is all you need to know. If you know this and you come excited to learn strategies and learn how to take power over your investments, you will get an incredible amount of value out of these classes. So, with that said, does anyone have any questions, or will I see you all in class on Monday? Are there any other questions regarding this series? Nora, hello, it's TechWare OS. I have no access to my account at the moment, but I wanted to ask you, how much is the annual subscription to Sectors Made Simple? So the annual subscription to Sectors Made Simple is $7.49 per year, but if you're not the kind of person that you want to instantly renew, all good. You can purchase the subscription and immediately cancel the renewal. That's totally fine. So, over on our website, the pricing is $7.49 for the annual subscription, which gives you full access to the dashboard, which is where we have all of our relative strength tools. Gives you access to all 150 hours of members webinars, 150 hours plus of members webinars that we offer, access to our weekly live webinars every Tuesday, and we lock you in at that rate, meaning when we raise the price for subscriptions in the future, we will still honor the price that you started off at. So, if the price rises to $900 in the future, you would still stay at the $7.49 per year rate. And again, the Learn site is available. You can start off by learning for free over on the Learn site, but you will get full access to the remaining 150 plus hours of content with the subscription. including our strategy series, where we are teaching trading strategies using our tools. Really quickly, I will do a brief introduction of our tools. Registration deadline, Sunday night. Sunday midnight is the deadline. So please, if you're interested in these classes, purchase before then. We will not accept registrations after that. So these are the tools that you get access to. You get access to our relative strength dashboard, which gives you a view of the S&P 500 and comparing the different market sectors within it. We have a relative strength screener to see the strongest companies in the S&P 500 in any given moment. The ability to create custom matrices or custom relative strengths for any group of US securities you're interested in, and backtesting to be able to take strategies using our tools and put them to use. While we're here, may as well show you all a quick strategy. Here is the steps that you would do to use it, by the way. Come here, sort by total count. Starting with the top thing on total count, go to the 2-week momentum and find something that has an X count momentum of 3 or more. I'll save us some time. There's nothing that has an X count momentum of 3 or more. The strategy would hold cash until next week. Sound too easy? Well, it really is that easy. And to show you the backtesting returns for that, here are the results of that strategy over the past year and a half. It can be done in less than a minute once you've gotten used to it, and the results of that strategy outperform the market by a significant margin. So, our strategies go beyond just technical and fundamental analysis in this series. If you purchase a subscription to Sectors Made Simple, we have lots of other strategies that take advantage of our resources. And mind you, this strategy trades once per week on Thursday, takes 5 minutes or less to do your trade, and in the past year and a half, the return has been 66.6%, compared to SPY that has lost 10%. Not bad, right? So, we are not new to the idea of creating strategies and using backtesting to create perfect strategies. So, I hope you can join us, either in Sectors Made Simple or in the Analysis Academy, hopefully both. It is truly our mission to make the world of investing simpler for you, for both fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and relative strength. So, hope you can join us, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the classes or Sectors Made Simple, you can send us an email at support@sectorsmadesimple.com. We don't have an outsourced support team. You're looking at the support team right now. So, thank you all so much for your time today. Thank you all so much for your interest in this class series. I hope that you will be able to join us on Monday for the very first series, or for the very first episode of the series, or I hope to see you all back here at Sectors Made Simple very, very soon in the future. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.